Okay.
Sister?
Victor,
Yo, she hot.
I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad to. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
I rustled with the police. Admit you were in jail. Don't mention you were in jail.
I took a short trip to a Warsaw jail.
What? Are you joking? During the funeral? Are you alright?
Everything's fine, don't worry. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
We have another fucking trip. Mental trip. Say goodbye to your father.
Fine.
Stay
Let's
safe,
get
buddy.
this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago.
Read the obituary aloud.
After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly.
Something tells me he didn't like his
That's
dad
better.
very much.
Definitely closer to the truth.
Say goodbye sincerely. You mentioned the dream you had after Rasputin hypnotized you.
The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutars. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now...
Okay.
Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
Sandtrap today, a moment of personal reflection. He's going like full pride build.
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
I bet you haven't made up your mind, say you don't intend to stay here long, point out that it's none of his business.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
Later, man.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Fake name.
Such interesting friends you had. guess I'm more tired than I thought.
Alright. Are you waiting? I don't really know.
Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge.
But
Grandpa
family members
Nikon.
dead. You guys are damn quiet, chat. Now it's raining. Look what you did. You've upset the gods. Environments look nice in this game. Where are we going? Go to your family home in northern Śródmieście. I'm immersed.
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
What?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
Chase the hyena away. Ask like if you ought to intervene. Don't cause problems for her.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually sparing you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Sure.
Thanks.
Gotta further explore
Get
everything.
in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Which one, Tara? Got more chance to finally go Goober here than BB, though. Especially if the gauge variety. I just follow over here.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
Bro, we're fucking loaded.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
I'm about to wet my whistle, too, let me tell you.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And
Oh, fuck.
I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Alright, getting drunk.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Tell her not to trouble herself. Tell her to make cocoa for Ligia.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time.
You want cocoa?
It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Cocoa pet? Portrait depicts father in his twilight years, a serious expression on his face. Okay. I don't read every little thing anymore. Pacing of this game is a little slow right now. We need to speed it up a bit. The Warsaw Courier Evening Extra. Here's the latest news on the riots. Disrupted His Majesty's speech today. That's where we were.
I don't want to put my foot in my
That's
mouth
my cousin.
again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia, forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
It was a very warm interaction. The basement. Grażyna's liquor recipe.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
Nope.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stashio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Alright, time to get Uncle drunk. That way he can become drunkle. Dinner recipes. Let's explore this floor real quick first. Bust of Morana. In the garden. This game isn't gaming too hard right now. It's definitely a slow burn. I'm hoping that it picks up a little bit. It's pretty somber so far. It's just like a bunch of dying and shit. Alright, time to get his booze. A bottle of red wine from the United States. Hard to get. Traces certain Ligia. Mother's portrait. Quince liqueur with amber. A small bottle of quince liqueur with amber, a beverage for true connoisseurs. Sauvignon de Bordeaux, a bottle of white wine from southern France, an expensive beverage popular among the aristocracy. Trace unknown. Voronen's bottle. Every bottle found in the Shulki's cellar contains a credible beverage. Uncle Voronen wouldn't disregard any of them. Alright, time to give the old man his booze.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
Now we just give him the thing he wants, right? The bottle of liqueur.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Ligia told you?
Not yet, or
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer. But such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
propose your own toast. Raise a toast in silence. Drink to an easy death. Propose your own toast. My dad, bitch.
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Join the reading of the will. Ask about Shajat.
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, Shall we collect our inheritance?
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat?
That's the most notary-looking notary ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
Ask him to get to the point.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Victor.
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory,
Would you be so kind?
What's up, Hector, brother?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers dating to the uprising in memory of our first mating.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Congratulate them both and say I'll wait in the kitchen. Is your mother getting anything?
Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
Congratulate them both and say I'll wait in the kitchen.
I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Shulsky. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome.
Item upgrade.
However, this last
Weapon
bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did
The
father
yard's pretty
have his
cool.
grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him.
What?
I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space.
He dropped a
as he
building
put
on him, I
it.
guess?
When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then,
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps.
In all that confusion?
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
His first name is Mu, so it's Mustachio.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the
What?
police stations.
Śródmieście?
Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
If it's that karma comes back. No, let's not be that
I
mean.
foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined Denijitsus, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Abauritse, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
I look through Father's things.
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check there too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish.
Admit the building's a good lead.
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more
It's
in
like
those
the guy's
ruins
been-
than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
I know I'm not the only.
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin.
Oh, the
Have
fucking
you heard anything
weirdo with
about
the
him?
cemetery that was interrupting
Konieczkin?
us.
No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of
Lugia?
information will lead me
Yeah, the
somewhere.
Pokemon.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
We snoop around his shit now.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Disappointed. There we go. I know what. Examine the picture. Oh, okay. Apparently we're going upstairs. Ah, yes. That's usually how we look at portraits through the floor. Stanislaus' last will. Alright. Just heard all that. What's this? Listen. Chopin.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
Perhaps. Memory Horizon Limited Quest. Oh, there's a bunch of shit here. Ritual mask, a wooden mask representing a saluter known as Shorale. Books in hard leather bindings with many bookmarks. A leather suitcase bearing traces of many travels. The snap effects are very cool, though. Collection of books on the occult. Title includes Pseudomonarchia Daemonum, Lemegeton, and Picatrix. In the bathroom. Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. Shard letter. My love for you is burning. It keeps me from eating. It keeps me from sleeping. It keeps me from living. Lygia, I'm begging you to end my agony. Agree to be my... What? Message from mother. Dear child, stop. It is with great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislav's death. Stop. Unfortunately, it will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. Stop. My duties in Paris keep me from traveling to Warsaw. This time, stop. I join you both in mourning and sorrow. Stop.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
My letter from Rome. Dear sister, I'm writing because much sleep eludes me. Oh, that's the one we wrote to her. Polish Gazette, evening edition. Letter from Paris. I read that one too. Mama. Serious photo. Straight backs, stern expressions, nose in there. Two boys that are just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. 9 draft. Thanks for the 30s. Ooh, man. Congrats on the 3-year badge, dude. If you want to change your clothes, use the wardrobe. You can expand your clothes collection by visiting the tailor. Okay, we don't really have many options here. Which I mean any options. Probably there's something else here. See the sparklies for. Oh, here we go. The human heart is worth more than all the riches in the material world. Tonight, SR. Mysterious woman. The message only appears to be brief. In fact, the pen strokes were accompanied by accelerated heartbeat, motivated by restrained fondness for the addressee. The ink is dripping with special care and warmth that have seeped deep into the paper. Father's thoughts were recently occupied with a search for knowledge that bordered on the obsessive. This is related to something much more than usual curiosity about the world, which I remember him for. He was looking for something, hunting for salutars, exploring the mysteries of everything related to Thaumaturge. The only thing I still don't know is where it led him. So we're going downstairs. Bust of Siren. Hello?